there was a chance that my sister could have had a successful career ahead of her, but I kind of did something after she sent me a bunch of photos from the launch party to rub it in my face. I was obviously not invited to the event, and when my parents left, they told me that the reason I was not invited was because it was an adults-only event, and since I was 17 they couldn't take me with them. It was a bunch of baloney, but I really didn't want to go anywhere. However, the day after the party, Connie sent me a bunch of photos and a text saying that since I had missed the fabulous party that she had hosted yesterday, she wanted me to live it through the photos. Then, just to be cocky, she said that she couldn't have done this without my help, referring to the $5,000 that I'd had to give up for her that I don't know why, but it just got on my nerves, and then when I saw this guy who was in the photos I immediately went to my gallery and confirmed my doubts. From the photos themselves, I could not tell if they were dating anymore or not since he was only in the background of a couple of pictures. But even though he had grown out some stubble and put on some weight, I could still tell that it was her high school ex-boyfriend. This guy, let's call him Simon, started dating her as soon as she turned 18, even though he himself was 25 at the time. He was from the same high school as the two of us, but of course he had graduated way before Connie. They had struck up a friendship online when she was 16. He literally asked her out on the day of her 18th birthday, which I thought was pretty creepy. But Connie thought that it was romantic. Thankfully, this was the time my parents acted like normal human beings and told her that they did not like the idea of her going out with somebody who had been waiting for her to turn 18 in spite of being in his 20s like a creep. They did not want her to go out with him, but I guess she did not obey them and continued to date him secretly. He was working in his dad's company at the time, but after a mere 8 months of being together, they had to break up because he was leaving to live with his uncle in Wyoming and work on the farm since apparently his father had caught him trying to steal from the company. She was devastated, and that was when our parents found out that she was still with him since she had come back home to beg my dad to get him a job here so he wouldn't have to do what his parents asked of him and allow himself to get shipped off to Wyoming and break things off with her. But my dad did not listen to her and forced her to block him everywhere and promise him that she would never speak to him again. Our house had been turned upside down that day because on one hand, Connie was begging our parents not to make her break up with him and promising them that he would be better, and on the other, my dad was yelling at her for not listening to them and getting involved with this guy who was clearly up to no good, while my mother just kept crying. Obviously, nobody involved me in anything that day, and I was told to stay in my room and not come out, but I had heard his name being thrown around a lot, so I decided to stalk him on social media. When someone causes an uproar like that in your home, you don't forget their face that easily. So when I recognized him looking in the background of her photos, I instantly decided to get back at Connie,